Hello everyone. Today I am with Tejas Lad. He is a personal banker and a project manager.
Because I was earning well in India. I had good amount of saving and spending that all the savings to enroll in the courses here, to buy flight tickets, to do shopping, and then after coming here, I had to start from zero. And I was aware about the fact that while studying, I will have to do part-time job to meet my expenses. And then after I reached here, I literally worked in a restaurant, and now we have Tim Hortons in India also. So I was working in Tim Hortons here in Canada. So every day when I went to work, I just thought of one thing. I used to work with MNC, and now to meet my expenses, I'm working here. So it was really challenging प्रोफेशनली एज वेल. यस, कैपेम और इफिक दोनों मैंने यहाँ पर आके किया. सीएफए मैंने वहां पर किया था इंडिया में. So CAPM focuses mainly on 10 knowledge areas of project management, right from the start to the end of project. जैसे आप start करते हो तो आप project का charter, like you make a project charter where you decide what are the aim of the project, what resources you require and everything. Right from there to the end of the project, सब कुछ वो CAPM certification में include होता है.
That what is personal banking? ये financial planning के जैसा ही है, right? It is
Yes.
a part of financial planning.
Yes, it is a part of financial planning, but financial planner deals with everything like estate planning. Financial planner deals with insurance, with taxes, with investments, everything. But I only deal with investments.
What skills do you think are necessary for entering into these domains?
So,
And
yes.
as a personal banker,
Yes.
what would you suggest the people who are entering into this domain to how to build and maintain relationship with the clients? Because personal banking is kind of totally based on the trust that the customer is building on you or your company. So how do you
Right.
build that trust? How do you maintain that trust? Let's move on to the careers part. What courses or certifications would you recommend for a person who is entering into personal banking? Hello everyone. Today I am with Tejas Lad. He is a personal banker and a project manager. Welcome Tejas. How are you?
Yes, I'm good. Thank you, Prashant, for bringing me here, and I'm excited to share my experience and skills with your viewers.
Thanks a lot Tejas. Let's start our discussion without any further ado. Please
Yeah.
introduce yourself.
So I am Tejas, and I'm working with Bank of Montreal here in Canada as a personal banker. And before that, I was working with Morningstar India, and I completed my MBA in finance with MIT College in Pune, and also I completed my civil engineering with Siagad College in Pune. And after that, I worked as a research associate with Morningstar. And then, due to work from home, I saw an opportunity to come out of India and explore new things. And that is how I came here in Canada, and I'm enjoying this process of evolving. And yeah, that's a brief introduction about me.
Okay. So what motivated to change your career from civil engineering to finance?
Okay, so let me start with civil. So in my family, I have two architects already. So that was
Okay.
one inspiration for me. And during the time, like after 12th, I was looking for different avenues where I must like enroll myself for engineering. And during that time, my father was constructing a house where we were supposed to move in. So I was also very much inspired by our civil engineer. And also that time real estate was in boom in India,
Hmm.
so I was like I must go for civil engineering, and that is how I started my studies in civil engineering. But then within a short span of time, I came across a book called Rich Dad Poor Dad. I started reading about assets, liabilities, and that is how I developed interest into stock market. And then I opened my first demat account with Zerodha and invested in Reliance. That time Reliance was just 930. So I invested,
Okay.
and that is how my investment journey started. And that time I realized that further I must pursue MBA to learn more about financial markets. And so I started learning, like I enrolled in MBA and completed my financial services program. And then I was also working with Morningstar. And that time I was doing projects on research, and I was particularly working with mergers and acquisition teams. So that time I realized like I also liked one aspect of project management. Like I like to organize things, I like to schedule, and I like to manage projects. And also like then as I said like earlier, there was COVID, I started working from home, so I was like I need to explore new things, so I decided to come here to Canada. And coming here to Canada just with 2 years of work experience was not enough, so I decided to study here after coming here. And so I enrolled in financial services and project management course. So that is how I transitioned from civil to finance and project management.
ओके, बहुत सारे
Yes.
challenges face करने पड़े हैं आपको.
Yeah, absolutely.
What about when you were, shifting from India to Canada? What kind of challenges did you face at that point of time, personally and professionally?
Yes, so it was actually a roller coaster ride for me because like when I was in India that time also everyone said that I am a mama's boy. And even today when I wake up in the morning, first thing is like I call my mom to see how she's doing, how she is. So it was very much challenging personally for me to leave my family, and the thought of not being able to see my family for a very long time was something that was provoking me to rethink about my decision, that whether I should go or not. But then my family and especially my mom stood by me and by my decision and helped me to move out of my comfort zone. But that was one thing. But professionally, what I faced was very much dangerous, I must say, because I was earning well in India. I had good amount of saving and spending that all the savings to enroll in the courses here, to buy flight tickets, to do shopping. And then after coming here I had to start from zero, and I was aware about the fact that while studying I will have to do part-time job to meet my expenses. And then after I reached here, I literally worked in a restaurant, and now we have Tim Hortons in India also. So I was working in Tim Hortons here in Canada. So every day when I went to work, I just thought of one thing. I used to work with MNC, and now to meet my expenses I'm working here. So it was really challenging professionally as well. But what motivated me was my ultimate goal. So now I'm doing good. So I'm happy with whatever I faced because now I'm good.
Great, great, great. अंत भला तो सब भला.
Yes, right.
Uh, let's talk about the CAPM certification that you have done. आपने ये
Okay.
कनाडा जाने के बाद किया था कि पहले किया था?
ये बाद में ये कैपेम और इफिक दोनों मैंने यहाँ पर आके किया, CFA मैंने वहां पर किया था इंडिया में.
ओके, तो कैपएम का एक्सपीरियंस कैसा रहा आपका? थोड़ा कैपएम के बारे में बताओगे आप?
यस, सो कैपएम वाज वन ऑफ द सर्टिफिकेशन जो कोर्स मैंने यहाँ पर परस्यू किया, वहाँ पर रिक्वायरमेंट था कि मैंने कैपएम करना चाहिए, उसके बाद ही मुझे एज अ पास करेंगे वो लोग. सो दैट वाज वन ऑफ द रिक्वायरमेंट टू पास माय कोर्स. But actually it was very good because nowadays we can see like project managers are not only confined to one industry. Now we have project managers in finance also, in IT sector also, in construction also. So CAPM is actually for anyone who want to start a career in project management. And then आपको कैपएम करने के बाद एज अ प्रोजेक्ट कोऑर्डिनेटर एक एंट्री लेवल जॉब आपको मिल सकता है. So CAPM focuses mainly on 10 knowledge areas of project management, right from the start to the end of project. जैसे आप start करते हो तो आप project का charter, like you make a project charter where you decide what are the aim of the project, what resources you require and everything. राइट फ्रॉम देयर टू द एंड ऑफ द प्रोजेक्ट सब कुछ वो कैपएम सर्टिफिकेशन में इंक्लूड होता है. सो लाइक रिसोर्स मैनेजमेंट, उसके बाद आता है फाइनेंशियल मैनेजमेंट, बजट मैनेजमेंट, टाइम मैनेजमेंट, स्टेक होल्डर मैनेजमेंट, कम्युनिकेशन मैनेजमेंट. This all concepts are covered into that CAPM certification. And then exam is also not simple. So in exam you get all the 120 questions, scenario based question. It is not
ओके,
just fill in the blank. So they give you a scenario, and then you have to decide out of that four that what you will choose in particular scenario. So yes, it was actually a very good exam, I say. And if anyone wants to start a career in project management, it's an entry level course.
ओके. एंड एग्जाम में क्वेश्चंस मल्टीपल चॉइस ही रहते हैं या फिर
Yes,
सब्जेक्टिव क्वेश्चंस भी रहते
yes, it is a multiple choice exam. 120 questions होते हैं, and all the questions are multiple choice based on the 10
हैं? ओके.
knowledge areas of
कितने
project
टाइम के
management.
लिए कितना ड्यूरेशन रहता है?
3 hours.
3 आवर्स का रहता है कि कंप्यूटर बेस्ड
Yes,
एग्जाम है?
yes, proctored computer based exam.
ओके. एंड आपको कितना कॉस्ट लगा सीएपीएम करने का?
CAPM was around $600. So this is one of the thing. Like as a student, आपको वो cost भी bear करना होता है. So what most of the student do is like they wait till the end of course and then they do it at the end, and then it takes more time. So what I did was I just did in my vacation between 2 semesters. So
ओके.
आपको cost रहता है, लेकिन then you the next semester becomes very easy.
तो आपको कितना टाइम लगा कैपएम कंप्लीट करने में?
So I had that 4 months of vacation and I just utilized it. That 4 months
Okay,
was enough for me.
okay. So you are in personal banking right now. Let's discuss
Yes.
about that. What is personal banking? And let's first start with that. What is personal banking?
Yes, so personal banking basically means like I have to deal with the finances of my clients personally. I am the one who will help them to pursue their financial goals ultimately. So, being a personal banker, every 4 months I have to go and check the finances of my clients, follow up with them, and then see if they are like on their track of achieving their ultimate investment objectives. If not, being a personal banker, I have to call them, I have to say them what is going wrong and what they have to do to meet their objectives. So most of the times like clients have like lot of amount here, clients like start working when they are 10, 12. So by the time they are 30, 35, they have around like $90,000 in their account, and most of them they just continue to work and accumulate that amount in their savings account, but they don't know how to invest. So it being a personal banker, it is my task to tell them like what suits their risk profile, to determine their risk profile, to determine their risk objectives, what investment goals they have. Being a personal banker, I have to do it. So basically when we talk here in BMO, we say that it is, as a personal banker in personal banking, it is a duty of mine to glorify the life of my clients with financial abundance. So that is what personal banking is for me.
Okay. तो ये financial planning के जैसा ही है, right? It is a
Yes.
part of financial planning, should I
Yes,
say?
it is a part of financial planning, but financial planner deals with everything like estate planning. Financial planner deals with insurance, with taxes, with investments,
Yes.
everything. But I only deal with investments.
Okay.
Yes, this is the start. Like my ultimate goal is to become a financial planner, but this is the start. And for becoming a financial planner, then you have to give different exams as well. Plus, you have to have some experience.
Yes.
Yes.
Uh, since you have been you are actually a personal banker and you have been a project manager, what skills do you think are necessary for entering into these domains?
So talking about personal banking first. So for personal banker, I personally believe that empathy is very much important. And along with
Okay.
empathy, like KYC and KYP, we say KYC is knowing your client and KYP is knowing your product. So
Okay.
if you know your client personally, you know how to advise him. If you know about client and what he's going through, what is his risk appetite, how much he can bear the risk. Even though there are some clients, they have like more money in their bank account, but they are very much risk averse. So we have to advise them based on that. So once you know about your client, for knowing your client, you need to have empathy. So you need to know them, you need to know their perspective. We cannot just, here in Canada, we are not allowed to do tide selling. So we cannot just tell them to invest in anything. We have to know what they want and then we have to tell them. So knowing your client and empathy is one of the thing. The other thing is knowing your product. If you don't know your product, it is very hard to recommend anything. So based on clients need, because one product can be good for XYZ customer, but it cannot be good for other customer.
Hmm.
So knowing product is also very much important. And talking about project management, it is a very vast area where you have to utilize all your skills. Like technical skill is important, but then your leadership skill, your negotiation skills also play a very big role, because like you have to deal with many stakeholders, your management, top management, your human resources, different stakeholders, and you have to build consensus about, among everyone. So it is very much important to negotiate with everyone. So having negotiation skill, also leadership skill is very much important in project management. Being a project leader, you need to like there are some workers under you working to accomplish your project goals. So you need to, like every worker will not listen to you, so that time you need to be an autocratic leader. You just need to direct them to do certain things in a particular way. But there are certain people who really want to develop and work for you, but they are like not meeting their goals. So you need to change your leadership style and help them to grow. So leadership skills and having negotiation skills is very much important for being a project manager.
Okay. And
Yes.
as a personal banker, what
Yes.
would you suggest the people who are entering into this domain to how to build and maintain relationship with the clients? Because personal banking is kind of totally based on the trust that the customer is building on you or your company. So how do you
Right.
build that trust? How do you maintain that trust?
Okay. So first thing I would say is like when I was studying financial services, my professor, he used to be an insurance advisor. So he said
Okay.
like you need to have 7 meetings with client before actually client invest in your product. So it takes 7 meetings to have that personal rapport with client. And similar
Okay.
thing I have faced here, because whenever I meet with the client, it's not the first meeting when client take the final decision. And also
Yes.
I don't have that much capacity in first meeting to decide what client wants. So very important thing is building relationship with the client and maintaining the trust, and for that you need to be empathetic. You need to know the client's finances in and out, like what client does, what client spends, where client spends, what client earn. And
Okay.
like client must themselves tell these things to you. So for that there must be a personal touch in your relationship.
Yes.
Now there was one customer who came to me and said that nowadays there are online banks and there are robo advisors who help you with everything, but still client come to us because some clients require that human touch, because robo advisor can only listen to your answers, listen to you, listen to what you type in that chat box, and they can advise based on that. But being an human, I can see your face, I can read your expression, I can read your body language, and I can suggest you some different things as well. Like there are some aged customer here in Canada. यहाँ पर लोग 90 93 is the average age here. And in
Okay.
nine yeah, and in 90s also they just come to bank, talk to us, and there are some customers who just want to have that human interaction. So to build that human interaction, I what I do personally is like I have a 4 month like 4 month reminder in my calendar. So every 4 month I try to see clients finances, and if everything is good, still then I will give them a call and ask them if they want to know anything about their investments or something, or if anything is hampering their investment, I just look at that and I give a call and I tell them that this thing is going wrong, if you just can come in and we can have a discussion. So what that helps me is I can keep a connect with my client. So anytime I meet, it is not that I'm meeting to someone stranger, and they also feel that there is no communication gap. Also most of the time what I do is like I have a reminder for birthdays for my personal clients. So I have 50 to 55 personal clients, so I have the
Okay.
reminder on my calendar. So on their birthdays I make it a point to tell them like to wish them and ask like how they are doing, and so that helps me to keep a connect with client and build the relationship. So it makes my financial advising also very much easy for me.
Yes. And in that part, networking also becomes very important part because people are
Exactly.
going to see you as a personal brand. How are you doing? Right?
Yes, right, right.
Mm.
Yeah, it is very much important because I have my colleague here. She works as a personal banker from past 10 years, and it is just her personal brand. Like people come to the front office and they say, "I want to meet Melissa." Melissa is my colleague and my senior. So
Okay.
that is how she built her brand, because now people trust her. She is there from past ten
Yes.
years, right? So personal brand is very much important here.
Okay. So, since you have these number of clients, 50 to 55 number of clients, what are the common financial mistakes which you find while doing personal banking that these people are making or in general people make?
So I have clients of all the ages. I like as I said, like people here live till 1993. I have worked with those clients also. I have worked with immigrants also, and I have worked with young clients also. So most commonly, what these old people do is like they just want to do the banking their own way. From like so many years they are doing in one particular way, and they just want to do it like that. Now most of the time if they come to me and ask me to invest in XYZ fund, and they just give me a check. So check giving a check, like it takes a time also, and it takes like it has some fees also to clear the check and then invest. So it is very time consuming process and there is a cost. So I just advise them to do it online, just transfer the funds to bank suspense account and then we can invest it for you. But as I said, in Canada we cannot like compel customers and clients to do anything. So for me what I do is I can only make them aware about a particular situation, but at the end what they have to do, they will do it. So this is one mistake that I see that clients commit, but then based on their age I cannot compel them. And then most of the clients between 40 to 60, mostly what I see is like they are busy of course with their work, and this 40 to 60, these are high income earning years, so they are busy with their jobs and businesses. So what they do is if they invest today, So today if you invest, while investing there is one question which asks you, like after the maturity, let's say maturity is 3 year, it will ask you what to do after 3 years with that investment. So they just choose to reinvest it without any without giving any attention to it. Like after 3 years, the financial conditions might be different, or this particular product might not be suitable to their needs, but still they just choose not to come to branch and have complete holistic discussion, and they just choose to reinvest. So that is one thing that clients ignore, and that hampers their investment returns also. And talking about immigrants, so I am also an immigrant here. So I also started as an immigrant, and I know what mistakes I did. So any immigrant, they come to me, so I advise them, because like immigrant also have some facilities here where they can invest in some avenues and generate more return than
Okay.
what bank account has for them. And they can just use that product as a bank account, and that I was
Okay.
unaware about when I started here. So I just try to make it a point to tell my CSRs who open the account, I just tell them if there is any immigrant, ask them to come and meet me at least for 10-15 minutes, and I can like suggest them some products that can be helpful to them. So that is how I have built a very good relationship with Ukrainians also, because where I live in, this area is called Saskatchewan, and
Okay.
here there are many Ukrainians, and they are like due to Russia and Ukraine war, they have migrated here,
Mm.
and they are unaware about all this financial like investments and everything. So most of the Ukrainians now, if they come to bank, they directly say, I want to see Tejas. So it is one of the best thing that I can tell about myself, that I have built that rapport with Ukrainian people also, and they are happy with my advice.
Hmm. Okay. Just wanted to ask one point here, ki since you are
Yes.
mentioning ki whenever you have a new scheme or a new plan, or you
Yes.
want to make some changes in a plan of a client, you have to take permission every time from the client, or as a personal banker, do you have the authority to, do it
No,
yourself?
no, I don't have any authority. I need to have client's permission. I need to have his signature on the papers, and then only I can do.
Uh,
The financial industry here and what it is in India is completely different. Here, if there is any problem, like if client complain anything, any small
hmm.
thing also, then I have to face that repercussion. Bank has to face that repercussion, and we have to pay the fine also. So I cannot
Okay.
do anything without client's permission and his signature on paper.
Okay. And
Yes.
let's move on to the careers part. What courses or certifications would you recommend for a person who is entering into personal banking?
So currently, I see there are many small certifications into financial services industry, and everything is important. As I say, like knowledge is power, and everything is important. But talking about only personal banking,
Hmm.
CFP is one of the important certification, like Certified Financial
Okay.
Planning. This is one of the important certification if you are planning to move higher into this financial advisor role. And CFP is something that is globally accepted, even if there are different bodies or like conducting this exam. Like CFP in Canada is conducted by FP Canada.
Okay.
CFP in India might be conducted by some other organization, but then it is a globally accepted certificate. So even if you are an CFP in India, and if you think to migrate here, you just need to submit your documents and just give one exam instead of giving all the exams. So it is very easy. So, but for personal banking, yes, CFP is one of the important certification.
Okay.
Yes.
Uh, I think we have come to the end of our session. One last question which I want to ask is,
Yes.
since you are in the markets, what
Yes.
do you think the role of ESG compliance is playing while planning investment strategies?
Right, right. So ESG is actually a very important part of any investment advice, and it is emerging now, and it will be one of the crucial thing into futures also. And like we see many cases, like we have seen ICICI Bank Chanda Kochar case there in India. Currently, we are seeing like Hindenburg and Adani Group. What
Hmm.
is
Yes.
happening? These are all corporate governance issue. Even during financial crisis, Lehman Brother, it was a financial
Hmm.
corporate governance issue. So ESG is something that is due to whistleblower policy and strict laws and regulation. ESG is taking pace into the financial services industry,
Okay.
and it is like both way. Like from the investor's point of view, most of the informed investor who are into the industry, they also look at the ESG rating before investing in any company, because they also want to invest in something which can give them good return and which can grow in
Hmm.
future, right? And also from the company's point of view, it is very much important to maintain their ESG rating, because like if company is doing anything wrong, they will lose investors, they will lose the value of the
Mhm.
company. So to
Yes.
build a long term investor relationship and long term create value for the investor, it is very much important to have good ESG rating. And in future it will be one of the most important thing that any investor will look at. And even at BMO we have a portfolio which is rated by the ESG rating.
Okay.
So we offer that also to client based on investor rating.
Okay. Thanks a lot, Tejas, for joining today. This was a very
Yeah,
informative conversation for me as well.
yeah,
So
thank you
thanks a
so
lot.
much for bringing me here.
Thanks a lot. Goodbye.
Goodbye, bye bye.